So the first thing I did was to prep my skin, and to do that I used the Pixi Glow Glycolic Boost Sheet Mask. It has glycolic acid, ginseng, and witch hazel, and this just instantly brightens and moisturizes the skin. For my brows, I used the Collab Shape and Shade Ultra Fine Brow Pencil in Ash Brown. I really like this color because especially for this look that's so dramatic, I kind of wanted a more natural brow. So to prime my eyes, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in Etch and Create. I really like this one, and I use it by itself for when I'm doing actual cut creases. But to prime my eyes, and especially to clean underneath my brows, I do like to mix it with Etch, which is the dark one, just to make it a little bit more of like a natural shade. So I do like 2 swipes of the light one and then 1 swipe of the dark one. So I'm going to mix those together, and then I'll clean up under my brows and prime my eyes. So using this Morphe E20 brush, I'm gonna pick some up, dab that on my lid just so that I get a nice even application. So for my eyes, this was her look. It was very like a bronzy brown with that really pretty like glisten in the middle. So I'm actually going to use this little palette from Collab. It's the Get Ready With Me palette. It's honestly like the perfect neutrals palette. I honestly really like this, and it was a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. The only shade that I really did have to pack on for it to be more pigmented was the transition shade. But I don't mind, because since that is the transition shade, it is very light anyways, so it didn't really bother me. But every other shade is seriously so buttery. So I'm going to use the Sigma E40, and I'm going to start with this transition shade, and I'm just really going to pack that into the crease. See, it's just this really pretty, warm, kind of taupey brown. Next, we're going to use this Palladium Tool 776, and we're going to pack on this dark brown shade. We're going to place that on the outer corner and the inner corner. And I'm using patting motions first because I really want to pack in that pigment. Next, I'm going to go back in with the E40 brush and more of that transition shade. And I'm just going to pack that on top of it and really blow out the crease. Because it is such a dark brown, we want to make sure that it stays in that warm brown kind of color. We don't want it to be too dark because that's just not how hers was. Next, I'm going to take this Morphe M514 with nothing on it, and I'm just going to make sure that all those edges are very blown out. Next, I'm going to take this flat shader brush. It has no name or number. I don't even remember where I got it. You just want to use anything that's like flat and round. And I'm going to go in with this bronzy shade right here. And I'm going to pack that into the center. Now, normally we would just leave it a little bit lower, but hers did go up a little bit higher, so we want to do the same thing. Then going back in with our 776 brush, we're going to blend out all the edges. Now we're going to go in with the Urban Decay Liquid Moondust Eyeshadow in Chemtrail. This is what's going to give us that really bright glisten that is really what makes it look like it is wet. And then picking up some more of that bronzy shade, I'm just going to put it on either side. Using some of this really light kind of pearl color, it's like another champagne color. I'm going to put that between our Moondust shade and the bronzy shade. So I'm going to do almost like a very thin line, kind of mixing the two together. And then going back in with our shader brush, just making sure that everything is blended. And just clean up under the eye using a makeup wipe. Next, I'm going to use some of my Covergirl Get In Liner. She does not have a cat eye, but she does seem to have just a thin black line on her upper lash line. Then for mascara, I'm using the Collab Love Your Curves Extreme Curl and Sculpt Mascara. We are gonna wear lashes, so you can really wear whatever mascara you would like. I mean, if you don't make a weird face when you're applying mascara, do you really even wear makeup? For lashes, I am wearing the style Ladylike from Dame Boss Lashes. These lashes are very spiky, which is what she had on. So I'm just gonna go pop those on and I'll be right back. So next we're gonna start in with the face, but really briefly, I just wanted to mention, do you guys see this enormous glow that I have from using that sheet mask? For my primer, I'm using the Collab Pep Talk Primer and Skin Booster in Brighten and Revitalize. So I'm gonna do 2 pumps of that. Oh my god, it smells so good. It smells like oranges. And then for foundation, I'm actually gonna mix 2 things together. I'm gonna mix their Meet Your Matte Foundation in the shade Honey 06 with their The Filter highlighting liquid in the shade Pearlocity. The reason I don't use this as a primer, because I do see out there that a lot of makeup artists and people use it as a primer, is because I personally don't feel like you could see it in the end look. So especially if you have a full coverage foundation, that will usually just cover it. So that's why I like to mix it in with my foundation, so that way I could just see that luminosity there. So I'm gonna do 2 pumps of that with 3 pumps of the foundation. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of foundation down my neck a little bit. Next, I'm gonna use their No Flaws Concealer in Beige Tan 0405. So I'm gonna go ahead, place this under my eye, a little bit on the forehead, a little bit above the lips, and like, that's it, on the chin. Alright guys, before I continue, I just wanted to take a second because I didn't realize my microphone wasn't recording. I'm trying so hard not to be mad, but I am very sorry about that. It is recording now, obviously, so hopefully we'll be going back to good audio. To set under my eyes and on all my high points, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Bake and Blot in, I believe this one is Banana Light. So I'm going to take the back of my beauty blender, I'm going to rub it in the powder, dab a little on my palm. I actually learned that trick from Desi Perkins. She does that so that way the powder is an even application and you don't have like a big chunk of powder somewhere that'll surprise you later. And I'm setting this area with a brightening powder instead of a regular translucent powder because I really do want to make sure that this area stays nice and bright. To bronze and contour my face, I'm going to use these 2 bronzers. This one is in Malibu Tan and this one is in Tropez Tan. These are both from the brand Sky Para Mi, which is a new brand that they have at Target. The reason I'm using 2 is because I really want to use this one to warm up my face, and this is the one that I'm going to use to actually contour. So I'm going to go in with this one first. So I'm just using the Morphe M530 brush. I like this one. Honestly, the shape is just perfect. It fits perfectly in the hollows and my chinny chin chin. Then using the small Wet n Wild blending brush, I'm going to take a little bit of that just for my nose and a little bit under my lower lip just to help make it look more pouty. Next, I'm going to go in with Tropez Tan and this Morphe M527. This is a much bigger brush and it's because I usually like to use this for more so bronzing. See? For blush, I'm using the Milani Baked Blush in Corallina 08, and I'm going to use my Morphe E4 for this. Now this one is a very pigmented blush, so I'm going to try my hardest to take it easy. To start with highlighting, I don't know if you caught on to that, but you will soon. I'm going to use the Filter highlighting liquid again with our beauty blender, and we're going to put her to the test because you can't do this with every highlighting liquid, especially when you've already put powder. So let's see how this goes. I love this. Holy cannoli. I feel like this is totally good and doable. I'm gonna put a little more though. Next, I'm gonna use the Caí Para Mí highlighter in gold. Like I said, you could totally just call it here, especially with this particular one. It is such a natural looking highlight, but I really want to take this to the next level because her look, she literally looks like she's soaking wet. We're just gonna gently apply this on top of what we already have just to help take it to that next level. And going in with a small pencil brush, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the inner corners of our eyes. And then for my eyeliner, I'm using the Essence Extreme Lasting Waterproof Liner in 01. I could barely see the name anymore because it's a little teeny tiny number, but it's because I love this eyeliner. It is so creamy. It is just my absolute favorite one I've ever used. Next, I'm gonna go back into that palette and I'm gonna go with the dark brown shade first with a smaller pencil brush, and I'm just gonna try to smoke out that lower lash line. And then using a little fluffier brush with that same transition shade, I'm gonna smoke that out even more. Then I'm just gonna finish it off with mascara. And then to finish off our brows, we're gonna use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. It's really gonna help to find those brow hairs. For a lip liner, I'm gonna use the NYX lip liner in Nude Truffle, which is just a really pretty kind of browny nude. And then for gloss, we're using the Collab Glow with the Flow Lip Shine in Yasss Kween. It's almost got like no color, but it's very light and pearly. The only thing I wish was different about these lip glosses is I wish more came out when you pulled out the wand. And then to finish off the makeup portion of this look, I'm just gonna go ahead and set everything with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer Water. This is a prep, set, and refresh. I love this spray so much. It's already almost halfway because I'm just addicted. Not only does it smell amazing and like summer 2019, it also does leave you with this beautiful glow. Next, for the body, because we can't have all this glow on our face and then be totally flat on our body, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Farmhouse Fresh Agave Nectar Ageless Body Oil. I've talked about this product before. I'm gonna use 3 pumps. This is actually a body oil that I don't know if she still uses, but at least Kim Kardashian used to use to get that really pretty glow. I am using 3 pumps. Usually you don't need that much. Usually you just need like 1, but she is almost dripping wet for this look, so we want to do as much glow as we can. And then to bump up the glow even more, we're going to use that same highlighting liquid, which has apparently been the theme of today's look. And we're just going to dab that on with our beauty blender onto the high points of our chest. And if you push your shoulders forward, that shows you very easily where that is. Alright guys, so this is the final look. As you can tell, everything is very wet and dewy and glowy. I feel like that's definitely going to be the word of the video. She did do the wet hair look for her Met Gala look. I have done it once before, but it was a really long time ago. So this time what I did to kind of achieve that same like just out of the ocean look is I sprayed my hair down a lot, like honestly a ton, so that it would almost be like soaking wet. And then I put lots of mousse and I scrunched it, and then I used a shine spray literally all over my hair, so that way even if it does start to dry down, it does still keep that shine and that look of being wet. And I did also spray myself with some shine spray just to give myself a little bit of that extra glow and dewiness. But yeah, that's basically it guys. I hope that you guys liked this video and my rendition on the look that Mario did for Kim for the Met Gala this year. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye!